Rolls-Royce produces some of the priciest cars globally. Surprisingly, this multi-billion-dollar enterprise was established by a young man from a humble background who had minimal schooling. Remarkably, Henry Royce initiated his initial million-dollar venture with a mere 20 pounds in his pocket. How did he achieve such remarkable heights? Let's get into the fascinating story of Rolls-Royce. Early life of Henry Royce. Born in 1863, Henry Royce hailed from a family tied to a failing flour mill. By 1867, bankruptcy loomed, compelling the Royces to relocate to London for employment. At the tender age of 4, Henry began his labor journey, shooting birds on a farm, earning meager cents weekly. Despite his father's subsequent employment at another mill, the family remained burdened by staggering debt. Demise of Henry Royce's father. The family was already struggling when tragedy struck, making a bad situation even worse. Henry's father passed away when he was only 9 years old. This devastating loss compounded their financial woes, forcing Henry to forego his education and work full-time. From selling newspapers to delivering telegrams, every cent mattered. Yet, despite his mother's best efforts, the debt burden grew too heavy. Henry was under the care of an elderly couple, barely scraping by. Days were often marked by meager meals, with health suffering from both malnutrition and the toll of early labor. Apprenticeship of Henry Royce. At the age of 15, Henry had only completed a single year of schooling. His aunt stepped in, providing the funds for him to join an apprenticeship program with the Great Northern Railway Company. Though she couldn't cover his housing costs, Henry found refuge with George Yarrow, whose son was also apprenticing. Under George's guidance, Henry honed his skills, crafting complex brass model wheelbarrows in their garden shed. Henry's skill and strong work ethic shone through despite his limited formal education. However, financial constraints forced him to leave the apprenticeship after 3 years. Undeterred, at 17, Henry entered the workforce, earning a mere penny per hour at a toolmaking company in Leeds. His determination led him to the Electric Light and Power Company in Liverpool, where he dedicated himself wholeheartedly, often sacrificing meals to learn more about electronics. Through perseverance and careful saving, he eventually financed night classes in electrical engineering at the City and Guilds Institute. Henry Royce's job as a chief electrician. At just 19, the knowledge he gained from these classes landed him in the opportunity of a lifetime. Chief electrician at Maxim Weston Electric. Henry reveled in this newfound success. However, in 1884, the company collapsed, leaving Henry jobless again. It felt like every effort led to disappointment. Henry Royce's first company. Instead of seeking another job, Henry decided to start his own business, driven by a desire for more. Despite his simple beginnings, he dreamed of wealth and entrepreneurship. Teaming up with his colleague, Ernest Claremont, they founded F.H. Royce & Company in 1884, pooling their small savings to make electric fittings. Living simply above their Manchester shop, they survived on homemade sandwiches, facing slim chances of success. Yet, Henry's strong work ethic kept them going. Their breakthrough came with the electric doorbell, which they crafted carefully and promoted tirelessly. As sales grew, Henry worked late into the night to fulfill orders and dream bigger. Reinvesting their earnings, they expanded the products to generators and even an electric crane, each new product driving further growth. By 1899, their share capital reached £30,000, a remarkable sum. In today's terms, that's over $1 million, showcasing Henry's determination and entrepreneurial spirit. Henry Royce's ambition. Despite his achievements, Henry aimed for something grander, crafting the world's most luxurious car. But first, he had a personal matter to attend to. With newfound wealth from their initial venture, Henry and Ernest turned to their personal lives. Their bond was so strong that they married sisters Edith and Minnie Punt, joining their partnership in both business and family. Their success in electrical goods provided a stable foundation for Henry to pursue even loftier mechanical endeavors. Henry Royce's first car. Back then, owning a car was rare, but Henry Royce was captivated by cars from the start. He purchased a worn-out French car made in 1901, despite the fact that it wouldn't even start initially. Determined, he fixed it in a day and kept improving it until he realized he could do even better. In 1904, he handcrafted 3 cars, known as the Royce 10. One for himself, one for his partner Ernest, and one sold to a man so impressed that he introduced Henry to a car dealer, Charles Rolls. Little did they know this meeting would change their lives forever. Rolls meets Royce. The collaboration between Charles Rolls and Henry Royce was unlikely. Henry's journey from poverty to prosperity contrasted sharply with Charles, who had everything handed to him. Yet their shared love for cars united them. Together, they birthed the legendary Rolls-Royce brand. Luxury life of Charles Rolls. Charles Rolls, born Charles Stuart Rolls in 1877, was the son of the first Baron of Lady Lancastock. He displayed an early knack for mechanics, earning him the nickname Dirty Rolls. After studying at Cambridge University, he ventured into yacht and railway work. A true pioneer, he was among the first British car owners, purchasing a Peugeot Phaeton at just 18. His father provided the financial backing for his venture, C.S. Rolls & Company, importing French cars. This paternal support kickstarted Charles's entrepreneurial journey. He gained fame for daring feats, embracing racing and aviation. When he encountered Henry Royce's 2-cylinder car, he initially hesitated, being a fan of larger engines. Yet after a test drive, he was convinced of Royce's talent. Rushing back to London, he excitedly proclaimed Royce the finest motor engineer he'd encountered, marking the beginning of a legendary partnership. Birth of Rolls-Royce. In December 1904, Charles Rolls and Henry Royce formed Rolls-Royce, blending their diverse backgrounds and talents. Born in poverty, Henry achieved success through hard work, while Charles, privileged from youth, easily obtained what he wanted. Despite their age difference, Charles at 27 and Henry at 41, they complemented each other perfectly. Henry's expertise in crafting flawless mechanical objects matched Charles's business and marketing skills. Charles used his connections to reach wealthy customers, tapping into high society, politics, and media. Together, they formed an unbeatable team, each bringing vital skills the other lacked. Their partnership marked the beginning of a legendary legacy in luxury automobiles. First Rolls-Royce cars. Once they were well known in the car world for their fancy cars, Charles suggested Henry make airplane engines since Charles loved flying too. But Henry said no, preferring to stick to cars. As their company got more successful, Charles could focus more on flying. He even quit his job as technical director at Rolls-Royce to focus only on planes, saying he liked flying more because there are no policemen in the air. In 1909, he got his own plane, and a year later, he flew non-stop across the English Channel and back, becoming a big hero in the newspapers, dubbed the greatest hero of the day. Charles Rolls' demise. Sadly, that wasn't the only time Charles made history. During an air show, he faced strong winds. Pushing his plane too hard, it fell apart when he tried to land. Charles Rolls became the first Briton to die in a plane crash in 1910 at just 32 years old. A year later, after losing his business partner, Henry Royce's health began to worsen. His years of poor eating and lack of sleep caught up with him. Unable to work in the Rolls-Royce factory, he spent more time at home. Despite his poor health, Henry kept working hard, even sketching designs from his bedside. Expansion of Rolls-Royce. By 1921, many people wanted Rolls-Royce cars, so much so that there was a 3-year wait list. To keep up, they opened a new factory in Springfield, Massachusetts. In 10 years, they made 2,944 cars. While that might not sound like a lot, Rolls-Royce focuses on making top-quality cars, even if it takes longer. This is still true today. Every car is handmade and can take up to 6 months to finish, showing their dedication to making the best vehicles possible. The demise of Henry Royce. In 1930, Henry Royce was given a special honor, becoming a knight. Just 3 years later, at 70, he passed away. Even though he was very sick, he kept working. His last drawing was made on his deathbed. The night before he died, he drew a picture of an adjustable shock absorber on an envelope. He asked his nurse to give it to the workers at the factory so they could make it. Sadly, he died before the letter could be given to them. Leaving a legacy. Both of these men left a lasting legacy. Rolls-Royce continued making cars long after they passed away. Even now, the name is still connected with luxury, with the company valued at over $34 billion. Their story shows that hard work and determination can lead to amazing things no matter where you start. As Henry Royce said, try to make things perfect, improve on what's already good, and if it's not there, create it. Their journey inspires us to chase our dreams and improve our lives. As we've seen, Henry Royce's story is just one example of how determination can lead to success. Now, let's explore another inspiring tale. A young boy from a deprived background started cleaning at a small car repair shop in Tokyo, Japan. Despite facing challenges, he became a multi-billionaire business tycoon, leaving a remarkable legacy with Honda Motors. If you want to hear more about this fantastic journey, just click on the thumbnail on your screen and let's discover together how a poor Japanese boy created Honda. See you there.